What's up guys, Kloppo here, going to be bringing you another video. Today we're going to be cracking open the brand new Wave of Light structure deck. For those of you who don't know what this is the new counter fairy support that some people have been awaiting for a fairly decent time, a couple of months. I don't actually know what's in this other than the fact that I know this is a budget friendly deck, which links in with the fact that I want to provide you guys budget friendly support and budget friendly deck profiles. So I hope you enjoy the video. For the clarification, I'm not going to be explaining any of the old cards. I'm only going to be explaining what the new ones do. And if you want to know what the old ones do, for those that are part of this, I would recommend either buying the structure deck for yourself or looking on any Yu-Gi-Oh database available to you. I hope you enjoy the video and let's get on with it. So, for those of you who want to see the map, so yeah, that is the brand new map. I actually had a look at this myself. This isn't that bad of a map. It's got the link markers. If this is on a rubber mat, I wouldn't mind playing that, to be quite honest. The manual. So to start off, we'll just start going through these. We've got Eva, no more, no less of a name. It's a level 1 light fairy monster with 500 attack and 200 defense. This card reads that if this card is sent to the GY or graveyard, you can banish up to 2 other light fairy monsters from your hand and or graveyard at the same number of level 2 or lower light fairy monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Eva once per turn. So I can imagine this would combo off quite well with the old Herald monsters. Next we've got the boss monster of the deck, Sacred Arch Air Knight passive. This is a level 8 or 9, 8 light monster. It's a fairy with 2800 attack points and 23 defense points. It reads that if you activate a counter trap or if you negate the activation of a spell/trap card or monster effect except during the damage step, you can banish 2 other fairy monsters from your hand, field and or GY, special this card from the graveyard if it was there when you activated/negated, or hand even if not. So you can basically special summon this card if it's in the grave, or if it's in hand, you can add it, you can activate it from there. Or if you discarded this as a cost for one of the counter traps, you can summon this, which comes in quite handy with basically being able to combo off with it. That's pretty nice foil as well. But this also has the effect of if this card attacks a defense position or monster, inflict piercing damage, which basically all of the passive monsters up to this day have had. And if this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can add 1 passive card or counter trap from your deck to hand. So that is a very good card in my opinion. Looks like a pretty good boss monster. So already 2 cards in, already looking pretty good. Next we have Power Angel Valkyria. This reads as a light level 4 fairy. If you negate the activation of a spell/trap card or monster effect, you can add 1. Actually no, it's mandatory. So add 1 light fairy monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Power Angel Valkyria once per turn. So the only 3 cards in, and I'll admit this is a very good structure deck. I am very much liking it. Next we have Sanctum of Parsif. This card's name becomes Sanctuary in the Sky while on the field or in the graveyard. Fairy monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense. Set spell and traps cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. So that's very good for the players that worry about being cosmicked or twin twisted. So I can imagine this. I'll admit, while I have been hearing this deck isn't very good, I can actually see this seeing some pretty decent play. Guess what? We'll probably find out when I do the free budget decks testing. The rest of the effect reads that once per turn you can target a total of 3 fairy monsters and or counter traps with different names in your graveyard. Place them on top of your deck in any order. So very good card right there. Next we have the first counter trap of the deck. Rebirth of Parsif, so a counter trap that can be searched off of this as well as being a counter trap to be searched is already really good. It reads, when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated, reveal one counter trap in your hand, discard one card and pay 1,000. Negates the activation, and if you do, shuffle that card into deck. Then you can special summon one passive monster from your deck or extra deck. So that's very, very good. So this sort of goes back to the Sacred Arch Air Knight. So you can go activate this card, pay the 1,000, discard Air Knight to negate their activation, then special summon another one of these from your deck, and then immediately afterwards trigger the effect of this. So that's 2 monsters for the price of 1 activation. So that's a really good card. I actually like that card quite a bit. So those are the supers and the ultras of the deck. Going off to the next new one, we have Minerva, Scholar of Light. This is a level 4 fairy, which reads, each time a counter trap is activated, so going back to the old counter fairy, gaining effects upon counter traps resolving. This reads, each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, this card gains 500 attack, and if it does, and unquote, the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, you can add 1 counter trap with a different name from your graveyard to your hand. So basically you could just keep looping back all of your good hand traps. So running Strike in this would be very good, because you can trigger your strikes, add a warning, activate strike, or any other counter trap of your choice. Next we have Neo Parsif, which we've all read before. We have regular Parsif. We have Meltiel, Sage of the Sky. I'm not sure if this is an old or a new one. I haven't seen this one before, so for the sake of it, I'll read it. Each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, gain 1,000 life points, and if you do, and unquote, the Sanctuary of the Sky is on the field, destroy 1 card your opponent controls. So this is a very good card because it's not a once per turn, so you can keep activating your counter traps, gain your life points, and then you can activate your Solemns for basically the cost of what you're paying on this, and eliminate your opponent's field. So very good card there. Next we have Harvest Angel of Wisdom, Balfour Archimedes, Layard the Liberator. This is a new one, I believe. Each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, add 2 of your banished fairy monsters to your hand. So I imagine that combos off with one of the newer monsters. Archlord Christia. Not gonna lie, I don't like it in common, so secrets are still gonna be my thing. Splendid Venus, Guardian Ariadne, Athena, Tethys, Goddess of Light, Hecatris, I believe that is how it's pronounced, I probably just butchered that name. Galendra, Nova Summoner, Honest. We have the 3 Herald that I previously mentioned. So that does combo off quite well with this, because you can basically send it as cost for activating one of the Heralds, and then banish your Herald to have an individual Herald of your choice. So that's quite good. We have Guiding Lights. I'll admit I've seen this card in the past, and I don't think there's ever been a single player who hasn't read that card and thought it's a terrible card. So yeah, this is actually kind of semi-useful now. Kind of a rank 1 play right there. DD Sprite. Never seen this before. I think it's an old card, but just for the sake of it, I'll read it. It is a light level 1 fairy tuner monster, which read, you can special summon this card from your hand by banishing 1 face-up monster you control. If special summoned this way, during your next standby phase, return the banished monster to the field. So a level 1 tuner monster that is a 1-for-1 target as well as a trigger effect for something stupid like Shiranui. That's a really stupid example, but it's an example. Next we have Hanawata. This reads as, basically you can discard this card to take no effect damage this turn, so, you know, Trickster reprints right there. Death to Tricksters, am I right? Yeah, make this game good again. They're gonna collect all these up so we're not making a massive mess. Next we have Cards from the Sky, Celestial Transformation, the Sanctuary in the Sky, the card that they keep referring to, Valhalla, another one of the good reprints, Ties of the Brethren, so any deck that likes this card can basically access this card a lot cheaper now. We have another new one, Light of Judgment. This reads that if Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, discard one light monster to the GUI, apply one of the following effects. Look at your opponent's hand and discard one card from their hand. Send one card your opponent controls to the GUI. So, yeah, this is a normal trap. I'll admit if it was a continuous trap, I'd be a big fan of it. Looks like we got another early reprint. We got a Recall. Not very good card. Drastic Drop Off. For those of you who don't know what this card is, basically, whenever your opponent adds a card from deck to hand, they are forced to discard one of the cards that they added. So if you're against Tricksters and your opponent goes to add Reincarnation or a Lycoris, you can immediately afterwards make them discard the card they added. Miraculous Descent, Dark Bribe, another new one, Synthetic Seraphim. This reads that each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, special summon one Synthetic Serum token, which is a level 1 light monster with 300 attack and 300 defense. I imagine that is to help with summoning the passives or the synchro players towards the Air Knight passive synchro monster that isn't actually in this deck. Yet another Solemn Warning reprint, Ultimate Providence, and Divine Punishment. This is another new one that reads as this. When a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated while Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So yeah, this overall seems like a very good deck. I'm definitely going to be doing tomorrow. This is going to be coming out tomorrow, hopefully. This is going to be, I will be making a free budget deck, a free structure deck build on this as well, and depending how much support is received from this, how much you guys like it, I will hopefully make a full-on deck collecting all of the cards actually necessary. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about it, feel free to message me on my YouTube, or just leave a comment and leave a question in the comment below, and I will hopefully get back to you. This has been the Scrub Club signing out, and thank you.